Okay, on this short video, I'm going to give you the 5 secrets or steps or whatever you want to call it. 5 steps to success in almost any business. Now, there's going to be exceptions, but everybody wants to be the exception, and there really are few and far between exceptions to this. So, it's a 5-step formula, so to say. It's very simple. I committed it to memory years ago, and yet it's very profound because each one of these 5 things, there's a lot that can be said for each one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Some of this is just going to sound like common sense to you, and yet common sense is a very, very, very uncommon thing. And most business people, although when they hear these 5 steps, they'll recognize them, but they've never really thought about it or thought about the individual strategies that each step requires, which we don't have that time to go into that for this video, but I will give you the formula, and then it's up to you to do what I've done now, is spend a lot of time thinking it all through. So here it is. The secret to success in almost every business is to get, number 1, to get enough of the right people to, number 2, give you enough money in exchange for the products and services that you sell. That makes sense, right? Enough people, of the right people, to give you enough of their money in exchange for the products and services that you sell at a large enough profit margin per transaction. And maybe the first transaction or the second one, you're not making that much profit, but ultimately, then the third or fourth thing is enough times on a frequent enough basis. And then the 5th thing, which is so vitally important to the whole thing, because if you just stopped with those 4 and you didn't have the 5th thing, well, you could be in the situation I've been in before, where you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, or in some cases I was even bringing in over $1 million a month, close to $2 million a month, and I was going broke. So the 5th thing is with the greatest of all efficiency. So you get so it's a simple formula. You can, this might be the one video I've done where you really want to slow it down and take the notes so you can write it all down, but get enough of you get a large enough group of the right kind of people, which that in and of itself requires a tremendous amount of strategies, and there's a lot of things that go with all 5 of these. Get a large enough group of the right people to give you enough of their money in exchange for the products and services that you sell, which has to be just right for those people, with enough profit margin per transaction, enough times, because it's that frequency of repurchase and getting them to come back and spending more money again and again, for enough profit each time. And then the 5th thing is with the greatest of all efficiencies, which requires you to be frugal, to look at your numbers, find all kinds of ways to cost cut. I know you can't cost cut your way to prosperity, but believe me, I'm bringing in a fraction of the amount of money I used to generate when I was bringing in $1 million a month or more, and yet I'm making a lot more money now than I was back then. So I was going broke at $1 million a month. So the last thing, with greater efficiency, get a large enough group of the right people to give you enough of their money at enough profit margin per transaction, enough times. You're looking for people that are going to stay with you for year after year and continue to give you their money on a regular basis in exchange for your products and services, with the greatest amount of efficiency, so that you're able to keep the largest amount of profit for yourself, or your shareholders or investors or spouse or whoever. Hey, I know that there's exceptions to all of that. There's probably some businesses where you're not going to get customers coming back spending more money again and again. But in that case, you get as many referrals as you can. So there may be instances where some businesses don't apply, where you're selling something that where you don't get the repurchases and that kind of thing. But each one of those 5 steps, it's a simple formula. Get enough people to give you enough money, enough times for a large enough profit margin per transaction with the greatest efficiency. Think about that formula. Write it down, commit it to memory. Think about how each one of those 5 things requires a complete mindset, a set of strategies, and so that's it, man. 5 steps, and I bet you a lot of business owners have never really even thought of it in those simple of all terms. You know, they're just looking for more customers, more customers, more customers. So they're not thinking about getting those people to keep coming back enough times for enough profit margin per transaction. And if there's a lot of reckless and wild and crazy entrepreneurs who are like I used to be, that are bringing in millions of dollars a year and going broke at the same time. So that whole efficiency thing is really missing from their strategy. So think it through. It's a simple idea, it's a simple strategy, it's a simple formula. Think it through, and I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, reach out to me. I'm always looking for good joint venture business partners. Got some great money-making projects. I'd love to have you at least consider becoming my joint venture business partner. If so, I'll work with you at no cost in an attempt to help you make the largest amount of money, because that's how I make my money too. So thank you, and go to heytj.com. That's HEYTJ.com, or you can send me an email at tickets@heytj.com. Hope you'll commit these 5 steps to memory and really think about it and decide to master each one of those steps. If you want to have a conversation about this, just reach out to me at heytj.com. Thank you, and bye for now.